A crayon stuck in Homer's brain turns him from a fool into a genius. When Homer was young, he once shoved 16 crayons into his nostrils. He suddenly sneezed, and the crayons flew out, except for one which remained permanently embedded in Homer's brain. Later, doctors discovered that every time they examined his X-ray, his finger conveniently blocked the tip of the crayon. The doctor theorized that if the crayon cap could be removed, Homer's intelligence would surpass everyone's. One day, the Simpson family attended an animation conference. After watching a special on Tom and Jerry, Homer declared that his entire worldview had been turned upside down. They then went to the animation demonstration area. The host had just finished explaining the interactive rules when Homer dashed onto the stage and struck a pose. The host had no choice but to bring him to the screen and explain that any motion Homer made would be mimicked by the dog on the screen. Homer performed for the crowd, making everyone burst into laughter. After the performance, he didn't immediately take off the costume but walked straight to the bathroom. While Homer had everyone laughing, his family was embarrassed. Homer thought motion capture suits were amazing. People could use them to create all sorts of funny movements. So Homer rushed into a bank, hid behind a plant, and directed his own little transformation scene, making the bank employees laugh hysterically. Next, Homer withdrew all the money from his account and bought every single share of the animation company. The staff tried to warn him about the risks of stock trading, but Homer didn't listen. He was already too excited. The women dancing with gorillas were counting his cash for him. The staff reluctantly pressed the investment confirmation button. From then on, Homer was keenly interested in the company's stock fluctuations. But the next day, the stock price plummeted, and Homer became the company's only shareholder. He rang a bell to call a family meeting, telling them that he had lost all their savings. Carl gave Homer an opportunity to make money as a volunteer test subject at the hospital. The test did have some side effects, but the money came quickly. Homer chose to become a clinical trial participant. The doctors first tested a mysterious perfume on Homer, which caused him great discomfort. Then they gave him weight loss pills. Delicious food paraded before Homer's eyes, but he didn't react. It turned out that he had temporarily lost his sight due to the side effects of the drug. When the tests shifted to cognitive abilities, the mice stole the show, responding faster than Homer every time. The testers started to worry that Homer's brain might have a problem, so they checked his brain scans. A female doctor, after reviewing the images on the computer, discovered that Homer had a crayon embedded in his brain. She learned that it was from when Homer accidentally shoved it up his nose as a child. The doctor asked him if he would consider having the crayon removed, explaining that it might make him smarter, but it could also kill him. Homer immediately agreed to the surgery. After the successful operation, Homer underwent a huge transformation. As soon as he walked into the house, he declared that his IQ had skyrocketed. He could now name any state governor or historical figure, and even suggested that Lisa join him at the library to enjoy the pleasure of knowledge. He even used a series of formulas to prove that God doesn't exist, and immediately showed people the step-by-step process. Flanders immediately burned the proof. The principal of Springfield Elementary heard about it and invited Homer to give a lecture to warn the students. Lisa was proud of her dad, and Homer gave her a thumbs up. Homer wrote a safety report for the regulatory committee, believing it was for the welfare of the factory, but it led to the shutdown of the nuclear plant, leaving many people unemployed. As Homer passed a bar, he heard loud noises. Inside, people were burning his portrait. Homer tried to talk to them, but no one listened. Even his friends joined in. Homer sadly went to find Lisa, saying that since becoming smart, he had become so unhappy. Lisa told him that the more talented a person becomes, the more they see the essence of things. She advised Homer not to overthink it and to get some fresh air. Homer drove around, looking out at the scenery, and eventually ended up at the opera house to watch a performance. The audience around him was laughing at the plot, but Homer had a serious expression. He even predicted the upcoming scenes. The staff thought Homer was causing trouble, so they immediately kicked him out. Homer felt incredibly lonely. He went to see the doctor and said he wanted to go back to the world where he was a fool.